Before I start this video, I just want to say, look at this pound for pound list, right? Look at who's number 11, Dustin Poirier, okay? Close your eyes and ask yourself the question, does Dustin Poirier belong on the pound for pound list? And your heart will tell you the answer is no. This list is fucking bullshit. I got to make a video on this list at some point, but today I'm not talking about this list. I'm talking about these lists over here, these rankings and the champions at the top of them. Light heavyweight, currently being ruled by the man who rules WWE as well, Mr. Vacant, okay? But all these divisions have champions, and today I'm going to be doing something for 2023. I'm going to be predicting who's going to be the champion at the end of the year in each of these divisions, starting with flyweight, ending with heavyweight. So some of these will be quite easy, and some of these will be quite hard to pick. I'm going to be trying to do all of them as accurately as I can. We're going to see how many I can get right at the end of the year. Maybe I'll do a video reviewing some of my hot takes and my predictions for 2023. I don't know, man. Let me know what you think down below, though. Alright, so let's get started. Flyweight. Davison Figueiredo is going to be fighting Moreno for the title for the fourth time at UFC 283. I think Brandon Moreno has a pretty good chance to win this fight. I wouldn't be surprised if Figueiredo won. But I'm going to pick neither of these guys will be champion at the end of the year. I'm going to say Alejandre Pantoja is going to be champion at the end of the year. I think Pantoja or Mateus Nicolau has the best chance to be champion at the end of the year. I think Alejandro Pantoja is going to be fighting next to the belt, and he's going to beat whoever wins the title fight at 283. That's just my opinion. This is my opinion, brother, okay? So that's my pick for the flyweight division. I think Pantoja is going to be champion in 2023 at the end of the year, okay? We move on to the Oscar division. Aljamain Sterling for Best Actor in a Motion Picture. I kid, all right. Aljamain Sterling's been a quite consistent champion. Despite the Peter Yan fight, he completely destroyed Corey Sandhagen, and no one really gives him credit for that because they don't like him, and I understand why. Okay, he's quite cringe. Sean O'Malley's at the top of the division. I could see Sean O'Malley becoming champion. I really haven't thought about this one. There's a lot of options at the top of the division. I think Aljamain Sterling has a decent chance to beat Henry Cejudo and beat Sean O'Malley. That's what I think will happen. I think that's his schedule this year. But if Marlon Vera is to beat Corey Sandhagen, if he finishes Corey Sandhagen in February, then he's definitely going to be fighting for the title before the end of the year. And I can see Marlon Vera doing quite well against Aljamain Sterling. But at the same time, I know people don't want to hear this, but Marlon Vera was losing to Dominic Cruz, was losing to Frankie Edgar, okay? Lost to Jose Aldo because of the wrestling. Okay, it's Jose Aldo. It's not Aljamain Sterling on the ground with you. I think Marlon Vera would lose to Peter Yan. Personally, I think he would lose. I don't know. I think he could beat Merab because he got cracked by Marlon Moraes. But at the same time, I think Merab could beat him. So I think the grappling will be his weakness. So if Marlon Vera is to get to this title shot, because I think if Corey wins, he's not going to get a title shot. If Corey wins, then Sean O'Malley's going to fight for the belt next. And if Sean has to fight like a Rob Font Adrian Yanez winner, or maybe Merab, I don't think they'd give him Merab. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't know what they do with him. Maybe they give him the winner of Marlon and Corey if Corey Sandhagen wins. But I think because of how the division is shaking out, because he's going to fight in March against Henry Cejudo, and then he may fight only one more time, I think Aljamain Sterling has a decent chance to still be champion at the end of 2023. So I'm going to pick like a safe, steady option. I'm going to say Aljamain Sterling will still be the bantamweight champion at the end of 2023. We move on to the featherweight division. This is where it gets a bit interesting. Now, most people are going to pick Volkanovski to still be champion. That makes sense because he's going to be fighting in February for the lightweight title. That's going to take him out of action for probably the first half of the year, especially if he gets finished by Islam Makhachev, which I think will happen by submission. I think he'll have a close fight with him. I could see him winning a decision. I really could. But I'm going to pick Islam to beat him at lightweight, but that has nothing to do with the featherweight division. And then he's going to be fighting the winner of Yair Rodriguez, the biggest crybaby in UFC, and Josh Emmett. Two kind of undeserving guys, I think, for this interim title shot. I think Arnold Allen deserves it more. I would have even liked like an Arnold Allen, Calvin Kattar to be for that fight but they were going to fight, then the injury, whatever. Point is, I think if you saw my top 5 bold predictions, a lot of people were really, really mad at me for the Alexander Volkanovski prediction that I said. Go check out that video if you want to know the full prediction. But basically, I said Islam Makhachev is going to beat Alexander Volkanovski, and then the winner of Josh Emmett and Yair Rodriguez would beat him at the end of the year in kind of a shocker. So I'm going to say Yair Rodriguez will be champion at the end of the year. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't care, dude. I don't care, bro. I'm putting it all on the line, you know? Trust. I put it on the line. They're on the sidelines. I put it on the line. Alright? Trust. Alright, I think Yair Rodriguez will be champion at the end of the year. Somehow, some fucking way, he'll find a way. But, you know, if Volkanovski beats him, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think I could find a way for Yair Rodriguez to beat him. I think he does have a weird style that could catch Volkanovski by surprise, especially if he comes back too early from the Islam fight. We'll have to see what happens, though. This is a very unpredictable kind of division, so I'm pretty confident in these first two. I think Pantoja and Sterling will be champions, but featherweight, I'm just going to take a shot in the dark and say Yair Rodriguez will be champion. We move on to the lightweight division. This one's pretty easy. I'm going to say Islam Makhachev will still be champion at the end of the year. Oh, wait, never mind. I picked Dariush to beat him. So if Dariush fights him, then Dariush will win. But if Dariush loses to Dustin Poirier, which could happen, I think he'd beat Dustin Poirier. I really want him to beat Dustin Poirier. I'm sick of fucking Dustin Poirier fighting for the belt. I don't hate Dustin Poirier, but I'm just sick of like the same people getting title shots. Like Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, one fight every year, and then they're like, I want a title shot. And the UFC just gives it to them, and they lose to the champion again and again and again. It's like, no one cares, bro. We don't care anymore. Go fight Sarukian. Go fight Mateus Gamrot. Go fight Jalen Turner. You know, then come back to me and talk about a title shot. All right, go defend your spot in the rankings. Okay, no more fighting each other. Go fight Fiziev, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick of these three fucking guys fighting each other over and over and over again. These four, really. Oliveira, Poirier, Gaethje, and Chandler just fighting each other over and over again. Stop. We don't care anymore. All right? So, that's my rant about lightweight. Sorry. It's fucking bullshit. Okay, they're going to be replaced soon by Sarukian and Turner and Fiziev and, you know, guys like Islam and shit. So, I think if Dariush doesn't get a title shot, then Islam's going to stay champion. But if Dariush gets a title shot, then I'm going to pick Dariush is going to be the champion at the end of the year. Or be in contention to fight for it next year. So there's a lot of possibilities where maybe Islam stays champion. So I think if they fight this year, then Dariush will beat Islam and shock the world. But if they don't, then Islam will be champion at the end of the year. So hopefully that makes sense. Welterweight. We're going to move on. Okay, welterweight. That's a bit confusing. Sorry. Welterweight. Leon Edwards is currently champion. He's going to be fighting someone in March. UFC 286. If it's fucking Masvidal, I swear to God, bro, he's gonna smash Masvidal in London. I could see the UFC doing that. I really could. I really want it to be Bilal, but I think they're gonna make him fight someone else because they hate Bilal. But I think Goat Lau, you know, Bilal Muhammad, the GOAT, more finishes than Sean O'Malley in the month of October of 2022. So you tell me who's the real number one contender. Anyways, Bilal Muhammad has a decent chance of beating Leon Edwards. I'm not sure if he'll get to fight for the title, but I'm going to say that Khamzat Chimaev will be welterweight champion by the end of 2023. It hurts me to say it, bro, because I like Leon, and I like Bilal, and I want both of them to be champion. I want Bilal to become champion. I think Khamzat Chimaev is going to pass him by, and I think Khamzat Chimaev is a more dangerous matchup for Bilal, and same for Leon. Even though Leon's grappling is really good, I could see him finding a way to beat Khamzat. That would be amazing if that happened. But I'm going to pick Khamzat Chimaev to be champion by the end of 2023. I just think there's just no way he doesn't end up as a champion in one of these two divisions. And I think they'll give him the shot at welterweight. At some point, you know. Maybe after Kamaru Usman fights. Or maybe on the same card that Kamaru and Leon finally fight. If that happens, they'll do Chimaev versus Bilal or Chimaev versus somebody, you know what I mean? Shavkat would be awesome. Something like that. So I think Chimaev will find a way to the title in 2023. But it's so hard to predict, man. It's not because of the skills. Like, I think Chimaev could beat Leon. It's just the UFC's matchmaking is fucked. And I think some of these injuries are really messing up this how this division should flow. And welterweight is a shitty division as well because none of them want to fight each other. So it's hard to say, but I'm going to say Chimaev will be champion. Middleweight, Alex Pereira is currently champion. He's about to rematch Israel Adesanya. I think he's going to beat Adesanya, and I think he has a pretty decent chance of beating Whitaker as well. Check out my top 5 predictions video for more about that. I'm going to say that at the end of 2023, Alex Pereira will still be middleweight champion. But in 2024, I don't think he'll be champion for much longer after that. So I'm going to say at the end of 2023, Alex Pereira will be middleweight champion. If not, then Robert Whitaker will be champion. Those are my two Those are the two options: is Robert Whittaker and Alex Pereira. But I'm going to pick Alex Pereira to be champion at the end of the year. I think people really underestimate his skills. I think people really write him off. He's shown a lot of impressive grappling, in my opinion. If you go back and watch his loss in MMA, you will see him throwing up submissions, almost having an armbar, throwing up triangles, getting the back, making smart decisions in grappling. He's not a plus grappler, but he makes smart decisions. He doesn't make stupid decisions, you know what I mean? There's grapplers that will make stupid decisions because they're big and they're a striker, right? You know what I mean? Darren Till is a perfect example. You know what I mean? Guys like that who are so big that they just want to get up straight away and they don't make smart decisions. Alex Pereira is quite patient on the ground as he is on the feet, and he's got some decent submission attempts in his past fights. He took down Israel Adesanya, so I think people really underestimate his grappling. And, he's training with Glover Teixeira all day, bro. He's going to know how to stop a takedown. Robert Whittaker is not going to take him down at will. I think he will take him down at some point, but I can see Alex Pereira beating him, so that's my pick. Alex Pereira is going to be champion at the end of 2023. We move on to the light heavyweight division. This is tough. This is really tough. I want to say Yuri Prochazka will be champion at the end of 2023. Oh, I don't want to say it, dude. I don't want to say it. Dude, Glover Teixeira is going to be champion at the end of 2023. Okay? I don't give a fuck, bro. I said it. Okay? If Magomed had won, I think Magomed would have stayed champion to the end of the year. But because of how that bullshit went down, I think UFC is going to be very hesitant to put him back in the title picture. And you got to think, Glover Teixeira is old. He's going to beat Jamahal Hill. And then he's going to want to fight maybe one more time in the year. And that's probably going to be waiting for Yuri Prochazka to come back, fight for the belt, do the rematch they were supposed to do. And I know this is not going to be a popular opinion, but I think Glover Teixeira beats Yuri Prochazka if they fight again. I think he was going to beat him in the rematch. I think he should have beat him in the first fight if he didn't pull that guillotine. He could have finished him, okay? This is Glover Teixeira. One of his worst performances was that fight at UFC 275, and he still almost finished Yuri multiple times. I know Yuri almost finished him a couple times as well. But the last one that everyone remembers, the one that everyone knows about, is the one where he almost finished him on the feet. And I just think Glover Teixeira... I think Glover Teixeira just beats Yuri Prochazka. I just think he's just... I just think Yuri Prochazka has this weird thing where it's almost like he wants to lose. Like he fights just so... It's so entertaining. I love watching him fight. I'm a huge fan. But he just almost fights with a way where he almost wants to lose. And I think Glover Teixeira was so close to getting him in the first one. I think he will get him in the rematch if they fight. So I'm going to go crazy here. I'm going to say Glover Teixeira will be champion at the end of the year and probably retire. And that's going to be that. So that's my pick for light heavyweight. Last one, heavyweight division. I'll do the women's as well if you want. I don't really care. It's pretty easy to say. Heavyweight. Francis Ngannou is fighting for the belt. He's going to be fighting John Jones in March, UFC 285. Let me know if you want to see me predict that fight, add some fights to that card, stuff like that. If it starts falling apart, I'll do a video like I did for UFC 284. But anyways, you've got Cyril Gane floating around. He's probably going to fight Curtis Blades. I think Curtis Blades is going to beat Cyril Gane. I think Francis Ngannou is going to beat John Jones. And I can see the UFC doing maybe Curtis Blades, Stipe Miocic, or maybe like Sergey Pavlovich versus Cyril Gane. That was in my most exciting fights video. Go check that out. It's really hard to say who's going to fight for the belt at the end of the year. And the biggest problem is Francis Ngannou fights once a year. So I feel like if John Jones doesn't beat him, then Francis Ngannou will stay champion till 2024, where I think one of those guys will beat him. So I'm going to say Francis Ngannou will still be champion at the end of 2023, but simply because he's only going to fight once. I think. I really want to be wrong about that. I really want that to be wrong, but I think Francis Ngannou is going to fight one time this year, because he always does. And if not, then I think Curtis Blades will be champion at the end of 2023. I really believe that. I like Curtis Blades a lot. I think he's really good. I'll be really disappointed if he messes up his next fight, because he always, when you're like, he's fucking there. Every time Curtis Blades is like right about to be there, he fucks it up. And I think it might be finally time for him to get the big one and get the belt, and I think he can do it. So I'm going to pick Curtis Blades to be champion at the end of 2023, contingent upon Francis Ngannou fighting more than once, which I don't think is going to happen. So I'm going to say Francis, deep down, is going to be champion at the end of 2023. But I really want to be wrong. Okay, I want an active heavyweight champion. So, and strawweight, obviously Amanda Lemos is going to be champion, and she's going to knock out Valentina as well and take her belt. That's pretty obvious. and I think she'll move up to bantamweight as well and KO Amanda Nunes because she sucks at striking. So let me know what you think down below. Comment down below who you think is going to be champions at the end of 2023. And do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm sure you'll let me know down below. You always do. Thank you for all the support, boys. Have a good one.